All right. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see you all. How are you all doing?
We are fine, ma'am.
Are you
Fine,
doing
ma'am.
okay?
Ma'am.
Oh, that's nice to hear. All right. So my name's Marina. I'm from Buenos Aires in Argentina. Do you know where that is? I'm going to show you a little map here.
Yes, ma'am.
So, where is Argentina? Can you see the green spot down there?
Yes,
The orange?
ma'am.
Okay, good.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
The orange spot is India, and Argentina is in South America. We're basically in the opposite side of the world. We're very far away. What time is it over there? What's the time there? Can you tell me that?
6:30 p.m. Evening 6:30 p.m.
Okay, so it's the evening for you, and it's 10 a.m. here in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So we're almost 12 hours away, right? Okay. So
Yes.
do you know anything about Argentina? Or would you like to know anything about Argentina?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You don't know much about Argentina? No? Do you uh do you like soccer or do you like football at all? Not really. We have a big soccer team. World Cup, the football World Cup is coming up. So you may have heard a little bit about our soccer team. We also drink a very particular beverage, which we call mate. I always have mate in the morning. It's like tea. Do you like tea?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. And what do you eat in the morning?
Eat in the morning breakfast, idli, dosa, vada, bonda, puri, chapati.
Okay, so very specific type of food, right? Harry,
Yeah, they're
can
all spicy food. They're all spicy food.
oh, okay. I have tried spicy food, but I'm not a big fan of spicy food, to be honest. Um, but that sounds great. Okay, so today I would like to talk about climate change. Do you know anything about climate change? Yeah, for today is to talk about climate change. We're going to learn a little bit about
Yes,
climate
ma'am.
change. Okay, you're going to do a little research on the internet. You're going to look for information on the internet. You're going to compare your ideas and different perspectives. And then as homework, I will be asking you to put together a summary of your ideas. We're going to call that an infographic, okay? And the most important thing, I would like you to identify the causes, the effects, and think of possible solutions to prevent climate change, okay? So like I said, you will be producing an infographic. So you will be using some drawing and design tools. Okay. You will be looking for information on the web. Like I said, you will be collaborating with your classmates and producing an infographic. Okay. With your conclusions. Okay. Why do I want you to do this? Because I think it's important for you to learn how to communicate your ideas. I also want you to develop your critical thinking skills. Okay. I also want you to value differences. We're going to compare and contrast the situation in India to the situation in other countries. Okay. So it's important also for you to reflect on your own actions and attitudes towards climate change, okay, and what's happening in the world, okay? So just to get us started, I would like you to look at some pictures and quotes, okay? And then we're going to brainstorm some ideas in connection with climate change, okay? So let me show you the pictures. What can you see in the pictures at the bottom? What seems to be the problem? They have a poster.
Burning and factories are releasing smoke.
There's smoke, okay. And what do you think causes that smoke? What's the
So
problem?
what are the implications? What are the implications of smoke, Rohita?
We will get some health issues.
Okay, very good. Of course, there are very bad consequences for us human people, right? Okay, and what about fire? What's the danger of that, or what's the problem with that?
So second picture shows the wildfire. So
Mhm.
can anybody comment on this? What are the consequences of this forest fire, wildfire?
We can't get more oxygen.
Exactly. Excellent, Lohita. If trees go away, if they disappear, then we're not going to have enough oxygen. Excellent. Very good. So there are a lot of problems that are caused by climate change. When the temperature rises, then we can get fire, right? And then also people pollute the environment. They contaminate it. For example, when they produce things in factories, that's why there's a lot of smoke. And like Lojita very well said, that affects our health, right? Okay. And then a lot of people care about the planet and they don't want these problems to happen, which is why they protest against these problems. Can you see the first picture at the bottom of the screen? There's people protesting, and there's a poster where uh, they say, there is no planet B. What does that mean? What do you think? What will happen if we don't protect our planet? Do we have another planet?
Oh,
We
we don't
don't. At
know.
least, at least, so far we don't really have any other place to go. So, like the poster says, there's no planet B. So we need to take care of our planet and we need to protect it. Okay, this is very, very important. So that's why I want to talk about all of these things. I want you to help me think of ways to protect our planet. Okay? All right. So I put together this activity, which is very short. I would like you to brainstorm ideas. I will be typing up the words that you mentioned. Words that you can think of that are connected to climate change. So far, we mentioned smoke. So I'm going to type it up here. Smoke. We also mentioned fire, health problems. Can you think of any other words that are connected to?
Heavy rains.
Say that again, please.
Rain.
Heavy
Heavy rain.
rains. Very good. Heavy rains. Excellent. Heavy rains. Anything else? Heat. When it's very, very hot, the climate temperature changes. That's why it's becoming super, super hot in the southern part of uh, the globe. And there's a lot of differences in terms of temperature, right? So we can also put temperature in there because there's a lot of differences now. And for example, in Buenos Aires, we're supposed to be in the middle of spring, but we have had very cold days, which is not the usual thing. And Hattie told me last week that you have been having a lot of rain, which is not usual also. Okay, can you think of any other words connected to climate change and all of these problems we have mentioned? Because many of these problems put animals in danger. Very good. Exactly, like polar bears. Some animals are starting to disappear because of all these problems. Excellent point. Great. All right. Anything else you would like to mention? I think this is plenty, right? Okay. All right. Excellent job. Okay. So let's try and answer the last two questions out there. Does climate change affect India? We have talked about the heavy rains, What other problems are you experiencing in India because of all these changes? Told you briefly about Argentina. We're in the middle of spring. In Argentina, we have 4 seasons. We have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Okay, so there's 4 seasons in Argentina. Now we're in the middle of spring, and like I said, we have had very cold days. That's not usual at this time of the year. And then in the middle of winter, we have also had some hot days, which was also unusual. So we are also experiencing some climate differences. Okay, although we don't normally get a lot of rain, um, but looks like the situation is becoming similar in many different other countries, right? Do you know anything about any other countries?
Yes.
Some fires in the southern part of the country also, which I think have also been caused because of all these temperature differences. So clearly, this is affecting all of us all over the world. Excellent. All right. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. And then there's a short video that I would like you to watch. Are you ready to watch a video on climate change? Yes? Okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
okay, great. And then there's some questions that I would like you to answer. You have them up there. So I'm going to read them out loud so that you can keep them in mind while you watch the video. The first question is, what is the function of the greenhouse effect? Do you know anything about the greenhouse effect? What's a greenhouse?
So students, do you know anything about the greenhouse effect?
Not.
If we,
Lohita, can you brief?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Flooding of islands and coastal cities, hurricanes will be more devastating, migration of species, desertification of fertile areas, impact on agriculture and livestock.
okay, great. A greenhouse is a place where we keep plants, right? And we are supposed to keep plants at a certain temperature if we want them to grow okay, right? Now, if the temperature there gets too hot, then the plants die, okay? And that's the effect that the temperature changes are causing on our planet, right? And that's the reason why we're getting all of these fires and heavy rains. So the video will explain a little bit more about that. Okay, and then Antarctica and Greenland, I also mentioned. Greenland is in the northern part of the globe, and Antarctica is in the southern part of the globe. So we're going to learn a little bit more about what's happening there. We're also going to learn about the consequences of extreme weather, super hot weather, super cold weather, okay? Also, we're going to learn about the problems that smog or smoke can cause in our body. One of you mentioned health problems. So what are some of these problems that smoke can cause, right, in our body? And then what type of energy can we use to contribute to climate change? Because like I said at the beginning, there are things we can do to help prevent all of this from happening. For example, using alternative forms of energy, okay? So this is what the video is going to explain, okay? And then I'm going to briefly ask you to comment on it, okay? So let me play the video.
Human activities, from pollution to overpopulation, are driving up the Earth's temperature and fundamentally changing the world around us. The main cause is a phenomenon known as the greenhouse effect. Gases in the atmosphere, such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbons, let the sun's light in, but keep some of the heat from escaping, like the glass walls of a greenhouse. The more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, the more heat gets trapped, strengthening the greenhouse effect and increasing the Earth's temperature. Human activities, like the burning of fossil fuels, have increased the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere by more than a third since the Industrial Revolution. The rapid increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere has warmed the planet at an alarming rate. While Earth's climate has fluctuated in the past, atmospheric carbon dioxide hasn't reached today's levels in hundreds of thousands of years. Climate change has consequences for our oceans, our weather, our food sources, and our health. Ice sheets, such as Greenland and Antarctica, are melting. The extra water that was once held in glaciers causes sea levels to rise and spills out of the oceans, flooding coastal regions. Warmer temperatures also make weather more extreme. This means not only more intense major storms, floods, and heavy snowfall, but also longer and more frequent droughts. These changes in weather pose challenges. Growing crops becomes more difficult. The areas where plants and animals can live shift, and water supplies are diminished. In addition to creating new agricultural challenges, climate change can directly affect people's physical health. In urban areas, the warmer atmosphere creates an environment that traps and increases the amount of smog. This is because smog contains ozone particles, which increase rapidly at higher temperatures. Exposure to higher levels of smog can cause health problems such as asthma, heart disease, and lung cancer. While the rapid rate of climate change is caused by humans, humans are also the ones who can combat it. If we work to replace fossil fuels with renewable energy sources like solar and wind, which don't produce greenhouse gas emissions, we might still be able to prevent some of the worst effects of climate change.
So let me just pull up the presentation again and we can go over the questions. So let's see who can answer my first question there. What is the function of the greenhouse effect?
First point, flooding of islands and coastal cities. Second one, hurricanes will be more devastating. Third point, migration of species. Fourth one, desertification of fertile areas. Fifth one, impact on agriculture and livestock.
Okay, those are the effects that climate change has, right? The problems that climate change brings. But what does the video say about the greenhouse effect? Some gases are mentioned. Those gases cause problems,
Water,
right?
Yes.
water vapor, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, chlorofluorooxide, carbons.
Exactly. Very good. And what's the problem with those gases? Are they good or bad?
Bad.
They're bad.
We get more heat.
Exactly. We get more heat, right? And we also get a lot more snow and rain, which is why Antarctica and Greenland, right, which is why Antarctica and Greenland are frozen, basically, right? So we get a lot
Yes,
more
ma'am.
heat and we also get a lot more snow and rain. So Antarctica and Greenland are frozen. They're covered in snow, okay? And Lojita very well mentioned the consequences of more extreme weather. Can you mention them one more time, Lojita? What are the consequences of extreme weather? You said
Okay, ma'am.
migration of species?
Yes, ma'am. Flooding of islands and coastal cities. Hurricanes will be more devastating. Migration of species. Desertification of fertile areas. Impact on agriculture and livestock.
Exactly. Very good. Animals are also affected. Very good. And then what problems can smog cause in our body? There were 2 or 3
Lung
problems.
cancer.
Very good. Lung cancer?
So what
Asthma.
problems? Yes.
Lung
So
cancer
students,
and asthma.
Asthma, very good. Excellent. And what type of energy can we use to contribute to preventing climate change? If we use
Yeah.
alternative forms of energy, we can prevent many of these problems. So
Yes.
what would be?
Husnia, respond.
Yes, sir. Renewable energy is energy that has been derived from Earth's natural resources that are not fixed or exhaustible, such as wind and sunlight.
Very
Renewable
good.
energy alternative to the traditional energy that relies on fossil fuels.
Excellent. So we can use energy that comes from the sun and the wind mostly, right? Solar
Yes, ma'am.
energy. Okay. In particular, uh, do you use any of that in India?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
ma'am.
Okay. And what about? Okay. And
Yes, ma'am.
very good. Is that good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Why?
it is.
Why? Why is it good? We save money and we also protect the planet, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So many positive things come out of that. Okay, we save money, we protect the planet. So that's one of the reasons why we need to use alternative forms of energy. Okay, so my idea now is you're going to use the internet. You can use it however you want. Okay, and you're going to try and find information about the causes of climate change. We have already discussed some. Okay, for example, people uh, use a lot of uh, pollutants. Okay, people pollute or contaminate the planet by using different types of gases, for example. Okay, that's one of the causes. Effects, we have talked about some health related problems, including lung cancer. And then what would be possible solutions? We just said that using solar energy, or for example, avoiding the use of so much gases also helps the planet. Okay, so we have already commented on these things, but I would like you to do some research on the internet. So I'm going to give you some minutes, okay? And then I will be completing the chart with the information you give me, okay? So I'm going to be pulling up the chart and I will be typing up your own ideas. Let me show you what I mean, okay? So I put together this chart and I should be able to complete it with the information you give me, okay? So when you find the information, I will be typing your answers here. Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
All right. So, Lojita, what would be one possible cause? Let's talk about. Say it again.
Deforestation.
Okay. Deforestation. Excellent. Deforestation. Perfect. Okay. Effects of deforestation on the planet?
Lack of oxygen and seasons won't come in an order.
Okay. Lack of oxygen and seasons
Won't come in order.
won't come in order.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Perfect. Possible solutions?
We have to stop cutting the trees and we have to grow the trees.
Very good. Stop cutting trees and grow more trees. Perfect. Excellent
Thank you, ma'am.
job. Thank you. Excellent. Very good. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Another cause, please. Effects of toxic gases. According to the video.
Greenhouse
Remember?
effect.
Okay, yes, of course. The greenhouse effect. Okay. Greenhouse effect. Okay. And what would be possible solutions?
We have to stop using fossil fuels.
Very good. Excellent. Stop using fossil fuels. Okay, excellent. Very good. Can we think of any other?
Factories, ma'am.
Which one?
You mean third cause?
Another cause.
Yes,
Yes. One more. Just one. Can we think of one more?
Yes, she says the third one.
Okay.
Factories.
What's the third one again?
Factories, ma'am. Factories.
Factories.
Ah, factories. Sorry, I missed that. Factories. Okay. Good. What are the effects? Or smog, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Smog. Okay. Smog. And the effects?
Acid rains.
Very good. Acid rain. Excellent. And what would be possible solutions?
We have to stop releasing dangerous gases.
Okay. Stop releasing dangerous gases. And then what about factories? Are we supposed to close them down? Or what should we do with factories?
And we have to use them in a limit, ma'am.
Say that again, please.
We have to use them in a limit.
Okay, very good. So build less factories, maybe. Okay. All right. Stop
Yes,
releasing.
ma'am.
Okay, and build less factories. Excellent. Well done. Very good. Excellent. Session. I hope you found it useful. And
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you,
And-
ma'am.